What's going on YouTube? It's Tom here and we're back with another video today. This one is a little bit different. As you guys can see before you, we have a knife that maybe some of you are familiar with, but you guys have never seen it in this variation before. This is a regrind from Brian over at Transparent Knives. This was a Spyderco Myrtle, and now it is a Wharncliffe Spyderco Myrtle, which is super cool. I think this was just taken to 60 grit finish. It looks really, really good. I think he's reground this one multiple times, which is why the blade looks a little bit small. But he reground it super thin. And so he actually sent this over to me because he was getting some abnormally good toughness and edge retention results. So he wanted me to test this and see if they fell in line with what he had already tested it at. So this is S30V. From the Taichung factory, and I have already tested that twice on my Spyderco Sage 2, and it did pretty darn good both tests. We'll get into that here in a little bit. And so I would expect this S30V to do decent as well if Taichung is heat treating it well like that. So since we haven't talked about S30V in a while, here is the composition: 1.45% carbon, 0.1 to 0.4% tungsten, 4% vanadium, 14% chromium, 2% moly, 0.5% of manganese, 0.5% of silicon. Something that people don't really talk about a whole lot is that it has 0.1% of nitrogen, which is similar to, I believe, LC200N, except for LC200N has a little bit more. I think it's identical, or maybe it's a little bit less than the new S45VN that just came out. But people don't really talk about that a whole lot with this steel, which I think is kind of interesting. And I know Laren over at Knife Steel Nerds has talked about that before, that it's kind of funny that people don't really talk about it. But anyhow, getting past that. As far as the specs go, the stock on this is 136 thousandths, and the behind the edge thickness after putting my 18-degree per side bevel on this is 10 thousandths. So really, really nice and thin, and should cut incredibly well, actually. So I'm not going to waste too much time in this video. I sharpened this with my normal progression of 200 to 1000 grit, 16 and 4 micron CBN on leather, and the edge that came up was pretty normal for S30V. I mean, it was sharp, could whittle hair, could cut all that kind of stuff. I mean, it was average. Anyhow, I went ahead and tested it on the cardboard. This was on the controlled cardboard that I buy from Walmart now. And this knife actually really, really surprised me. This cut 377.67 feet, which is just stupid. That's right up there with, I want to say it's a little bit below like what S110V does. And like what M390 does at its maximum capabilities that I have tested. I really don't understand how this knife did so freaking well on the edge retention portion. I just kept cutting, and you guys might be able to see it in the footage. I keep testing it on paper just to make sure that it's still cutting like it should be. But I mean, the thing just kept cutting and cutting and cutting, and it just didn't want to stop. So I mean, 377 feet is no joke. That's extremely surprising, actually, because the two previous S30V results were 242.58 feet and 279.21 feet on my Sage 2. So that's a pretty darn big jump over what that knife did. I'm not really sure. I was talking to Gerald, and I think I was talking to Steve about this too, of why this might be like that. I thought geometry might play a factor, but they both told me no, that the geometry actually does not boost edge retention. It's just boosting the ease of cutting. So if that is the case, that's incredible. And this might just be like perfectly heat treated S30V, which, I mean, if that's what perfectly heat treated S30V does, that's awesome. Even my Sage 2 at what it did, I thought was incredible for S30V, for a steel that everybody bashes. But for this knife to do that, Brian's got an absolutely wicked knife here for S30V. This one will be getting HRC tested, so we're going to figure out if it is abnormally high, or maybe they just nailed the process on it. So that's really going to do it for this video. I'm not sure why this did what it did, but it's very interesting, and hopefully we have some explanation before long. Maybe they put something stupid in it, like an M390 or something. Who knows? So we'll figure it out. Anyhow, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like down below. Subscribe to continue to see more videos just like this one. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.